Returning to campaign 2016, today was the final day to cast your ballots if you live in Massachusetts.
And tonight we're learning nearly 800,000 voters took advantage of the state's first ever early voting period. Eyewitness News reporter Rosie Woods updates us on how the process went from the Southeastern Massachusetts mobile newsroom.
Early voting wrapped up at 5 p.m. here in Fall River, but officials tell me for the first time it went very smoothly. Massachusetts voters had one last chance to cast their ballots early today. The state's first ever early voting period ended Friday evening.
For the first time, you don't know what to expect, so I thought it was a good turnout.
Elizabeth Camara, chairperson for the Fall River Board of Election Commissioners, tells me the whole process has been a huge success.
They say they find it easier. It's better than waiting in long lines for Tuesday, because that's usually what happens in a presidential election.
As of Thursday, about 800,000 voters in the state had already used the early voting period to bank their ballot ahead of Tuesday's election.
As of last night, the total count so far is 3,123.
But voters who were unable to take advantage of early voting can still apply for absentee ballots until noon on Monday.
The only thing I find it difficult, this is the last week before voting. The office is the one that has a lot of work to do, so I thought maybe we shouldn't have it that week before, but 2 weeks before that.
Officials also want to make it clear that even though early voting is now over, you can still head to your precinct on Tuesday and send in those absentee ballots. With the mobile newsroom, Rosie Woods, Eyewitness News.
Now, unlike Massachusetts, Rhode Island doesn't have early voting. Instead, the state has emergency voting for people who aren't able to make it to the polls on Tuesday. Emergency voting is open at city and town halls during work hours through November 7th, so people can cast their ballot at the local board of canvassers. All other registered voters should plan to head to the polls on Tuesday, November 8th. In Rhode Island, the majority of polling places are open at 7 a.m.
The election is just 4 days away now, and you can count on Eyewitness News for continuing campaign 2016 coverage. And on Election Day, our entire team of reporters will be working every angle on air and online at WPRI.com. And on Election Day, if you see any issues at the polling places, you can let us know through Report It at WPRI.com.
And to make sure you're ready to cast your ballot, make sure to check out our voter resource guide on our website, WPRI.com. You can find out where your polling place is, what you need for ID, and learn more about the ballot questions that you'll be deciding on. Plus, if Senate Democrats pick up 4 states next week, they'll poll even with the GOP. In the event the Senate is split 50-50, who wields power? Our D.C. Bureau breaks it down in a new post on WPRI.com.